What's up, everyone? Aaron Nagler here for PackersNews.com. I'm here with Tom Silverstein in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Tom, looking at tight ends for the 2018 NFL Draft, where are the Packers at this position? I mean, we've written a lot and talked a lot about the position over the last few years. The Packers have used free agency almost exclusively to build this position. Where are the Packers at presently heading into the draft at tight end?
Yeah, you really think about it. Richard Rodgers is really their only investment in the tight end position through the draft in a while. Really, you first have to categorize Jimmy Graham, who's a tight end. They signed a free agency, of course, but I consider him more of a wide receiver than I do a tight end. He's not going to be an inline guy. He may line up there, but he's not going to block. You just have to assume that's the case. Then they have Lance Kendricks, who will give you every ounce of effort that he's got, but he's just not going to be a great blocker. He's also more of an H-back type who can be used everywhere. They really could use an inline guy, a complete tight end. He doesn't have to be a dominant guy who can run down the field. They got that in Graham, but they could really use I suppose summarize a Mark Chmura type, a guy who can run through zones and get open when Aaron Rodgers really needs him.
What do you think, looking at the draft? Obviously, highly doubtful the Packers look in the first round at 14, but is there somebody maybe day 2, day 3, or that they could look at to kind of fill that role? Maybe not necessarily a complete tight end, the best tight end in the draft, but somebody who could come in and hold up in the run game.
There's definitely some guys who have the potential to block, but that's the issue. Is that a lot of these guys you have to sort of project who is going to be able to block, because they don't have to block in college. They play so much of the spread offense. There isn't a lot of time to teach them. One coach told me that what you have to do is look at their fundamentals and see if they have the potential to be a blocker later on and judge from that. There's really no complete tight end. There's some pretty good prospects. Dallas Goedert from South Dakota State, Hayden Hurst. I think Ian Thomas, a guy from Indiana, is an interesting guy to watch. A really big lower body, has the potential to block, really long arms and big hands. That's a guy to keep an eye on. Will Dissly from Washington, he's another guy who's probably more of a blocker than a receiver, but that's a guy, in maybe day 3 that they take a look at. And then, there's a couple of guys 6th, 7th round that I'm sure they'll definitely consider. It's a fairly deep draft. It's just not as great as the one last year where there were 3 guys taken in the first round.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask, you're sitting there, Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, we cover a team in Wisconsin. What about Troy Fumagalli? You think there's any chance the Packers look in their home state?
Well, it's always possible. From what, my impressions from scouts is that he's not going to be a very good blocker in the NFL. He just doesn't have the body to do it, but he sure was a clutch guy for Wisconsin. And, in terms of receiving is number 1 in McCarthy's offense. They're always going to pass a lot. And, Fumagalli could be McCarthy's kind of guy. Really good hands, decent route runner. We'll have to see. We'll have to see if they go for, more of a stud athlete or someone who can actually just get the job done through hook or crook.
Well, there you go. All the latest, the tight end spot for the Green Bay Packers heading into the 2018 NFL Draft. For Tom, I'm Aaron. We'll talk to you soon.